Hey, Pastor Luke here. Welcome back to this session of Next Steps. Super excited to be talking about personal worship. Now, there's a few things that we're going to talk about in terms of next steps with that, but one of the biggest things is you might think, man, on Sunday morning, how can I be more engaged with worship? Well, the biggest thing for you really is what it is that you put in outside of that Sunday morning corporate worship time. So the personal worship that you are practicing on your own is directly going to impact the way that you are able to worship corporately. Now, some things that you can do to grow in this area, one is to keep a gratitude journal and just to be able to write out what it is that God is doing in your life, to be able to reflect on that, to praise Him for that, and allow you to be able to worship God out of what it is that He is still doing in your life. Now, another opportunity is to read the Psalms. And as you read the Psalms and go through kind of verse by verse declaring who God is and what it is that He's done throughout creation, throughout history, in such a way that you are declaring His greatness, you're following instructions within that. And the more that you do that personally, the more we can do that corporately together. And then one of the last things that you can do within personal worship, and you probably do this without even acknowledging it, that it just happens. Maybe it's later in the day on Sunday after church or whatever the case is, but personal worship is also just singing a song to God. And so the more that you do that. And so one of the things that you can do to take a next step would be in and out of season is creating a new playlist for yourself. Of, hey, these are songs that really mean a lot to me. As I was singing this song, God showed up in my life. And you kind of develop these different heart songs of yourself to where it is that God showed up and that they become the anthem for you in a different season. So, and to recap, here are 3 different ways that you can take a next step in personal worship. The first one is to create a gratitude journal where you're going to list out the ways that God shows up for you and be able to declare who He is because of that. The second thing would be to read the book of Psalms. And as you're reading through it, declaring those things back to God, practicing the instructions of those Psalms in terms of how it is that you can worship God. And then the third thing would be to sing personally to God. Maybe you're creating a playlist or doing something else, but these are 3 great next steps for you in the area of personal worship.